Yes. Previously, we have seen, see, we have started with the databases. We have summarized that we have system-defined databases as well as user-defined databases. Okay. We have seen that system-defined databases are compulsory databases, right? Mandatory databases here, where the metadata is maintained. Just here we have started with, yeah. So we have seen these points we have discussed very fastly one time. So these are mandatory databases. At the time of installation, 5 system databases are created: master, model, MSDB, DemDB, resource. These databases consist of your metadata. Once we configure the application, we have seen one more database is created with the name distribution. We know that complete automation information. Complete automation information is recorded in which database? MSDB, except the replication. That's if for replication, Microsoft is using a separate database with the name distribution. By default here, it is not created. We have seen once we configure replication feature, then it is created. Then here we can't detach system databases. We can't take system databases offline. In general, remember to move the database files. Suppose right now my database files are there in D drive, for example. Let's say we are expecting the D drive may be full after 1 month. I want to move the database files into different drive, for example, to different disk. So to move the files of a database, generally here we have different options are there. Yeah, these are the two options which we are using regularly. One is here like detach, attach. Second one is offline, online. Some regular options here. These are the two regular options are there with us. Right. We'll see these options practically. Then next one say like we can't implement log shipping, mirroring, replication, always on database snapshots on system databases. Remember, all these features are there only for user databases. Only for user databases here. These features are there only for user databases. These features are not for system databases. What is the reason? Reason is simple. Why? Because system databases maintains metadata, right? Yes, metadata cannot be duplicated. We have to understand metadata cannot be duplicated. What its meanings here? In server 1, master database is there. In server 1, master database is there. Same copy of master we can maintain in server 2, or server 2 has its own master. Anyone? Ajay, Mukesh? Understood, right? In server 1, this is our server 1, this is server 2. Here master database is there. This master copy we can maintain here as it is master copy. Means whatever the data is there here, same data, not only names, data is also same. We can maintain same master copy. Why? Because these features purpose is what? To maintain same copy of database in different server. Okay, so same copy of master we can't maintain, right? Why? Because this instance has its own master. Correct, right? Yes. That's why remember we can't maintain same copy of master database or MSDB or TempDB. Why? Because system databases, these are, that's why system databases cannot be duplicated. Here instance ID, instance name are there, here they are different, not same, right? Yes, that's why remember we can't configure all these features on system databases. Just we have to understand once again, metadata means like our personal data. Personal data. Okay, so yeah, so like say like means what, like we can't duplicate the personal data, right? My personal data is their name, everything. Yeah, we can't duplicate with yeah. So with suppose let's say like with other persons, right? I can't duplicate with Srikant or Mukesh or Murthy. Why? Because they have their own personal data. They have their own personal data. That's why we can't duplicate here. Okay. So yeah. So that is yeah. Personal data cannot be duplicated here. That is the reason, same thing we have to understand here. System databases cannot be duplicated. So that is the reason we can't implement all these features on system databases. That's why remember only we can implement these features on user databases. It is clear for all people or any confusion is there? Abhishek, Mukesh, Srikant, Prasad, Gopal. Is clear or any confusion is there? That's why tomorrow in the interview they will ask, I am configuring replication. I am configuring replication on master database. He's saying here in the interview. In the interview, I'm configuring replication on master database. It is throwing the error. Tell me the error number, he's saying. Okay. What is the answer? We have seen that we can't say like I forget the error number. If I say I forget the error number, immediately he will say that fake person will call you back. Time wasting. That's why we have to understand here. Only one point we have to discuss. Like we can't implement all these on system databases. That is our answer. Correct, right? Yeah, correct. Yes, yes. Okay. Yeah. So that's why we have to understand here. For example, if I right click on any user defined database here, if I go to any user defined database, we have options are there here: mirroring, log shipping, okay, detach, attach, offline. But see, if I go to system databases, check here, there is no options here, right? Mirroring, log shipping, attach, offline, something here. Right, right. So next year distribution is created in distributor. Already we know distribution database is for replication. We'll see later. For master model and MSDB, one copy of data and log files are created in bin templates folder. See, basically remember these system database files are there in which folder? Data folder actually. System database files are there in which folder? Data folder. By default location already, right? Data folder. Check here. If I go to MS SQL data, okay. So here the files are there. Here master model MSDB here files are there. Currently, remember SQL engine is using these files. here if I try to delete these files, immediately it is throwing errors here. This action cannot be completed because the file is open in SQL Server. Clear, right? Yes, that's why, but to avoid this, uh, but here we have one more path is that in bin templates also, one extra copy of here master model MSDB. 3 database files are there here also here. Okay, so these are fresh files. Currently, SQL engine is not using these files currently. These are the fresh files. Okay, yeah. So, but tomorrow, if these files are damaged, for example, currently SQL engine is using these files, right? Master model. If these files are damaged, server is not started. That's why by using that fresh files, we can start the server. Okay, that's why remember one extra copy of files are there in bin templates folder also, for which database extra copy is there, master model MST. These files are used for what purpose? To rebuild the system databases, means to recreate the fresh system databases. We'll see that, the same module, we'll see how to rebuild system databases. These files are used here to rebuild system databases. Generally, we have seen like we can't detach system databases, we can't take system databases offline. And once again, we have seen this detach and taking offline is generally used actually uh, to move the files of a database. To move the files of a database actually. We'll see that practically. But here system databases cannot be detached. Why? Because in system databases, database metadata is there, right? Server metadata is there. That's why if I detach system databases, then SQL Server will not work in general. But check here. Like we can detach system databases by running only MSDB. We can detach actually by using this trace flag by running the server with /m. /m means remember single user mode. Means what only one DBA can work. /T3608. This is the trace flag actually. So by using this trace flag, if I start the server, we are asking SQL engine, I want to detach MSDB. That we'll see later, confusion there, we'll see. Okay, now these are the 5 important points we have to understand about system databases. First point here, these are predefined databases which are created automatically once we install SQL Server. First point. Second point. Second point we have to understand here. These databases consist of what? Metadata. These databases consist of metadata. Second point. Right. Third point we have seen, we can't detach system databases. We can't take system databases offline. Third point. Fourth point we have seen, we can't configure log shipping mirroring. Okay, always on replication on system databases. Why? Because these features are only for user databases. These features are only for user databases here, not for system databases. The last point we have seen, for master model MSDB, one copy of files are there. One copy of files are there. One extra copy of files are there in which folder? Uh, bin templates folder also, which maintains what? Which maintains the a fresh database copy actually. Okay, 1 second. Right. Okay. Yeah. just here, these are the system databases we have discussed here, which are very, very important for us. Next, we'll go to another important concepts here, database architecture. Database architectures here. Check here. Yeah, we know already every SQL Server database has two types of files, right? Data files and transaction log files. See here, data files are there and transaction log files are there. See here, two types of files are there in every database. Okay, right, right. So we know that already initially changes are written in the log file. Later, those changes are written into data file permanently. Correct, right? Initially, changes are written in what transaction log file, but after some time, those changes are written permanently into data file. We have seen. Okay. Okay. So that is like two types of files are there, data files and transaction log files. Right. And once again here, data files are grouped in the form of file groups. So here file groups are there here, just like a folder actually. File group is like a folder which is used to group the data files. Data files. To get here better performance. Again, here in data files, we have two categories are there, MDF and NDFs here. Two types are there. By default, we have seen whenever we create a fresh database, new database, it is created with one MDF file, one LDF file, log file. Okay, created with one data file, one log file. Right. But see, to increase the size of database, we can add the extra files which are added with the extension .ndf here. .ndf, next data file. .ndf is this here. Yeah. Yeah. Next data file is this here. Next data file is a NDF file. Okay. Right, right. So, yeah, this NDF file consists of here both only data. MDF file consists of data plus metadata. Data plus metadata here. MDF file consists of what? Data plus metadata. NDF file maintains only data. Only data here. Understood, right? Difference between NDF and MDF. Okay, metadata file which has both data plus metadata. Primary data file it is. This is secondary data files here. Or next data file. Next data file. Okay, secondary data file. Okay, right. That is like two types of files are there: data files and transaction log files. Two types of files here. Okay, right. Right. So that's like two types of files are there. Understood, right? MDF file maintains both metadata, means like means data plus metadata. It has only data, secondary data file or next data file. Transaction log file we have seen like which maintains what all the transactions. Every change made to the database is recorded in what transaction log file. Yes, yes. That is like here one question is there, if there is no maximum limit of MDF file, then what is the need of NDF file? Question is there. So yeah, why? Because important question is there. I think privately message is there. Better to put public, okay, directly, so that others also can see the questions. Yes, this is the question. Is it? Second, sorry, it's not upbeat. Okay, okay, yeah. So yeah, yes. Check here. Like now, only MDF file, there is no limit, right? Why we need extra files? One question is there. For that, say, like, what is the answer is there? We have to understand. One is first point we have to understand. So always best practice to divide the data into multiple files. First point, right? Why? Because to avoid the data loss scenario. Second point, remember, in general, like, yeah, if one all the files are there in a single drive, single disk, okay, IO increases, performance issues will get, right? Performance issues will get actually. Okay, so yeah, so to avoid that performance issues, what we are doing, like, yeah, to avoid the performance issues, always best practice, remember, we are uh, maintaining the data in different drives in different files. Generally, remember, like, we can go each file size up to 100 GB, for example. So 100 GB, 100 GB, 100 GB, like separate files, again in separate drives, so that IO is divided, will get better performance. Yeah, the same way tomorrow when disk is damaged, something happen. Okay, once the disk is damaged, something happen. Then what is the we'll get say total. If single file is there, total data loss is there, right? That's why always best practice, remember, to divide the data into multiple files to get better performance, as well as to avoid the data loss scenarios. Clear, Mukesh? Important question is there you ask. Okay, why we have to go with what? Multiple files. Yes, yes. I think it is clear, right, for all people, difference between MDF and NDF. Yeah, yes. Okay, right. Thank you. Yes. Check it after that. That's why whenever we start the database, remember, SQL engine will go to which file? MDF file. MDF file. SQL engine will go to what? MDF file. So MDF file maintains what? Like, yeah, MDF file maintains like metadata plus data. Yeah, NDF file maintains only user data. Okay. Here again in a data file we have extents are there. In extent we have page. In page actual data is there. In page actual data is there. Here. The level page is nothing but remember 8 KB memory area. Nothing is there. Just remember it is a 8 KB memory area. Okay. Yeah, that is here like a page. Understood, right? Just this data file is divided into extents and pages. See, all these are automatically created by SQL Server. We are not doing anything here. We are not doing anything. Understood, right? All these are created automatically by SQL Server. But just we are understanding internally how SQL Server is managing the things. Internally, how SQL Server is managing what data. That's why here in a data file we have extents are there. Extent consists of say 8 pages actually. To group the pages we have extents. To group the data files we have file groups. Okay, to get better performance. That's why each extent has 8 pages. That's why each page size is 8 KB. Extent size is what? 8. See, extent size is 64 KB, right? Page size is 8 KB. Each extent has how many pages? 8 pages. That's why 64 KB. Each extent size is what? 64 KB. Again, here we have two types of extents are there. Mixed extents and uniform extents. Mixed extents and uniform extents here. Mixed extent consists of here same 8 pages, but from different objects. Means table 2 3 pages, table uh, 1 5 pages like this here. Uniform extent means remember it has all the 8 pages from same object. Let us see two types of extents are there. Check here mixed extents and uniform extents. Here very clearly 8 pages are there. And if you see here, all the 8 pages are not from same tables here, not from same object. That's why we are calling it as a mixed extent. Clear, right? Yes. But here see in this extent we have 8 pages are there, but from same tables here. All these are same table pages here, okay, which is called uniform extents here. Clear, right? Yes. Initially, remember, whenever a new database table is created, once the data entry is started, once the data entry is started, first remember, data is stored in which extent? Mixed extent actually. Maybe table has 2 pages or 3 pages. Mixed extent. But remember, once the table size reaches above 64 KB, above 64 KB means how many pages? 8 pages. Okay, automatically remember those table pages are taken into a separate extent, which is called uniform extent. Clear, right? What is mixed extent? What is uniform extent? Okay, right. So yeah, that is like yeah. Check here in a data file is there in a file group. Two types of data files we have seen. Again, data file has extents. Under extent, we have page. In page, actual data is present. Okay, right. We'll see again. Extends pages once again. We'll see practically now. Then, whereas your transaction log files are there here, transaction log files are maintained outside of file groups here. This is file group, right? Outside of file group, we have transaction log files here. Outside of file group. That's right, transaction log files will not come under database actually. Right, and see, transaction log file architecture is completely different, right? See, data file consists of extents pages, whereas transaction log file consists of your VLFs are there, under that blocks are there, under that records are there, here with a unique number called LSN number, log sequence number. LSN number is there, log sequence number here, LSN number. Clear, right? Yes, that is we can understand here VLFs are there. Under VLF we have blocks are there. Under that records are there. Every record is stored with a unique number called LSN number, log sequence number. Right, right. So that is how internally data is maintained in the form of data file and log files. First, we'll discuss about transaction log file in detail. Then we'll go to data file. Okay. And once again, remember, don't confuse anything. All these are internally created by SQL Server. Okay. We are not instructing SQL Server. You create page, you create extend. Whenever we create a database, automatically file groups, data file extends, pages are automatically created. Okay. Yes, in a log fields here, automatically it will create VLFs, blocks, and LSNs here, automatically. No need to create manually. Manually, we are not doing anything. All these are created automatically. Just our job is what? Our job is we are understanding how internally data is maintained. Right, right. Okay, what is VLF? One question is a virtual log file. Virtual log file. Just remember, virtual log files here, okay, which is basically yeah. Generally, remember depends on log file size. Remember, automatically log file is divided into parts actually, which is called VLF, virtual log file. Okay. Right, we can see that all these we'll see what is VLF. We'll check this practically. Okay, first we'll see this ones here yeah, transaction log file. We'll see first, then we'll go to data file. Okay, okay. Yeah, transaction log file is already we have seen. Every change made to the database, every insert or update or delete, everything is first recorded in what? Transaction log file. Already we have seen, right? Yes, yes. So then remember those changes are written into data file permanently. Okay? After some time, those changes are written into data file permanently. Once the changes are written into data file permanently, these changes can be cleared from the log file. That's why initially they are written in the log file. Once these are written into data file permanently, so changes are cleared from the log file. Okay. Check here first. We'll discuss here transaction log file. Then we'll go with the data file. Okay. Right.